Hey everyone, welcome to Watch It Paint It. In this video we're going to be unboxing Farsight. That is by Jamie Jolly and it's been published by Braincrack Games. Now I'm just going to throw this out there straight away. This was sent free of charge, so bear that in mind as we go through this video in case I start being really biased about opening a box and showing off the content. If I'm suddenly saying this is the nicest opening box in the world, bear that in mind. Now another perk we've been sent, this is I'm fully aware that there is a competition running at the minute to win a copy of Farsight and the Warchest that comes with it, which is the miniatures to go with this game. I've got that as well. I'll unbox that in another video. Now that competition is going to be a colouring competition. They're going to ask you to colour in one of the mechs and they're encouraging people's kids to do it. You could do it yourself, but I can't see you being a child's drawing colouring, if I'm honest. So get your kids to enter, get somebody else's kids to enter, even better. And then, then you've got a chance of winning a copy of this and the Warchest. So I'll leave a link in the description so you guys can check that out. So Farsight is going to be shown off at the virtual expo that's going to be taking place at the weekend. That's at the UK Games Expo, which I think has gone online. I'd actually know nothing about it. I shouldn't find out more. It might be quite easy for me to take part in that, or at least watch along and see that. So you'll be able to see that game featured in there, and this will be able to have a look what's inside it. Now I'll mention Farsight is a sort of bridge between wargaming and board gaming. It sounds very much to me like a very simplified war game, which is fantastic because I still haven't played Warhammer 40k. It seems like a lot to learn. This is one of those bridges where I get to learn a little bit about wargaming, but it's going to be on a board with cards, with die. Well, so is wargaming, but it's not on a board. Wargaming is not on a board normally. Beastgrave, does that count as wargaming? No, it doesn't. It's normally not on a board. So I feel like this is a bit of a bridge. It's going to hold my hand and teach me some simple ideas behind wargaming. So that's what Farsight's going to be. So let's have a look what we got. First of all, I noticed this artwork. Woohoo! It's kind of just like dark and dingy and yet so atmospheric, and it's really captivating. I had this just sat in my living room for a while and just, I don't know, something about it. I just love it. I think it's really, really nice, especially with the Warchest next to it. It's a powerful statement on the front of the box, I think. It's a shame the two of them don't make a panorama that we could put them next to each other as a showpiece and have something looking even better there. It's a shame they missed that, sort of mirroring it off to the side. But anyway, that's just the artwork on the front. The other thing I should mention is it's a big box. It's bigger than the Siemens standard sort of Euro game, what we're used to seeing. And it did make me concerned it wouldn't fit on the Kallax shelves. I'm sure a lot of board gamers out there are using Kallax, and to me it annoys me when a game doesn't fit on there. But I've been and checked, and it does just fit. Now mine are a little bit away from the wall behind it. I've got the skirting board in the way and it's pulling it out just that little bit, but I've hopefully shown you how much it would stick out if it was somehow flush against the wall. So it does fit there, but equally as much, if you want to put it on top, it looks very, very nice as a sort of focal point on top of your Kallax. So let's have a look what's inside. Oh, that is a nice feeling opening of a box there. Oh, best box I've ever opened, I think. So we're presented with the rules and engagement. So you get the instruction manual straight away. Let's have a look at that big font. It feels quite thick, but this font's huge and there's loads of space so far. So that's promising, not too much to learn. Color diagrams. Yeah, it's a big book, but it's spaced out quite a lot, isn't it? That's not a high volume of text. So that bodes well. It's not like a 40k magazine, instruction manual, whatever you call them, codex. There we go. So we're at 29 pages, but guys, you can see what it's looking like. It's quite spaced out, so that's promising. Put that to one side. So, I should mention, guys, so this is something I did think was really cool and it's really clever. You could buy the base game, and this is the game in its entirety. You can play it with everything that's in that. The Warchest purely adds cosmetic miniatures to the game. If, like, you're watching this channel, you're probably quite interested in miniatures and painting miniatures, so that's like an add-on you can get just to make this game a bit more submersive, a bit more atmospheric. So I think that's fantastic. I wish more board games would actually do that. Sometimes the miniatures are overkill, and you should be able to play the game and decide for yourself if you want the miniatures. So I think they've done a fantastic job there. So we've got loads of pop-outs. These are massively spaced as well, aren't they? So this is going to go down to way less card once you've popped all of these out. Various tokens for the game, standard pop-out tokens. So quite a few. They're a bit simple, aren't they? That's what I was going to say, but it's going to be quite obvious. They're quite unique. That's the word I'm looking for. You can tell each one. None of them look too close in similarity. Oh, they've got different on the back as well. So you can tell which is which. I just think that artwork's a little bit simple, noticing that. Oh, so here's the board. It's thick, which is nice. So it's good quality because you're going to be playing on this all the time. It's thick enough. And how big is it going to go? Let's find out. It feels massive. I've got to stand back. Okay, yeah. It's big. It's not going to fit on camera. That is fairly substantial. So big spaces. So I guess the miniatures or the pieces of the board game are going to be quite big as well. Yeah, thick board, big board. The artwork's a bit lackluster, isn't it? It's fine. It looks a bit like a battlefield. It's just, I mean, I don't know anything about the game, but why are the buildings identical on every single type? Every single, oh, sorry, you guys can't see, but it's just copied and pasted. Some sort of palette scheme going on here. Same as the forests, right? That's interesting. When I paint my miniatures, I often make them look identical, so it's obvious what unit's what. Maybe that's beneficial in the game. You can tell a forest is a forest. I certainly play some zombicide games where I can't quite tell what that tile's supposed to have on it and where the edge of the tile is because the artwork's slightly different on the walling to a different tile. So that's going to be good to some people and bad to others. It just looked very simple, which is good or bad. Who knows? Wow. So this is a nice tray, nice insert. What are these for? You've got some extra slots maybe for the tokens. Yes, these matched a load of the symbols on the tokens, so they get to have a space when you're done. Then you've got some space for all of this. I wonder if these fit properly in here. That'd be interesting to know. I can't understand why they're stacked in the way they're stacked. They go up and down. I don't know. Maybe that's by design. It just looks a little bit weird, but it's lovely. They've got a space. Again, this box is quite big, but it's got a lot of space in it, hasn't it? I think they could have streamlined the box. I'm not quite sure why it's so big. I should mention this is for 2 to 4 players, and I think it's more like teams of 2, basically, so you can have as many as you want. So I don't really know if it is 4-player. I find a lot of these games, these like 1v1 games, just often have bigger numbers and it doesn't work, right? Like Rum and Bones is a good one. I think it says 6 players. It feels like a 2-player game to me. So let's get back to some components. So some cards to play the game. So you get some tiles to go on the game. These obviously are the right size for the tiles for the map. So these must add certain terrain features to the map. And then you get the cards to go about playing the game. Very nice. It's packed up as normal. Not sure there's enough room to sleeve them in there, though, if you're into sleeving your cards. That could be problematic. We've got an Escapee artillery unit. So I think these are all the units, really. Like I mentioned, you don't need the miniatures. Play through the game with infantry, artillery. They're all marked as such on these tiles to move around the board. And it has a fog of war aspect to the game, so actually you play with them upside down a lot and people can't see what. So yeah, they're nice. They're thick card, they're robust, they don't need sleeving, they'll last a lifetime, and the artwork's picked it up a notch here. Yeah, this is looking good. Nothing boring about those ones. Good, excellent. So they all slot in there nicely. We get a big bag of die. So I guess this is very wargamery. You've got just rolling, looks like hits, misses, maybe critical hits, critical misses, and get a load of them, and you get a numbered, what's that, look like an 8-sided die. There was something else in here. So you get a couple of special die. That's a 10-sided, isn't it? So you get a 10-sided die and a letter die. They must be for the coordinates and what's happening on the board. They must have some coordinates. And then what's the last? Oh, we've got some pens. You get a few baggies. What have we got here? So, double-sided. All right. Do you get different factions? I'm guessing these are factions. Tiger faction, robot, soldier faction, bird faction, and hammer time. Yeah, cool. So some different factions. And then on the back, that's what the pens are for. These are dry wipeable boards. So there's a hidden element to this game, which sounds fantastic. I was just reading about it. And you move saboteurs, spies, supply lines, and seers around the board. So at the start of the game, you put them on the board somewhere, and then I think you can move them around the board while your opponent's all the time trying to find where they are to assassinate them. So this is to keep track of the hidden movements because they won't be appearing on the board. I thought that was great, really. Why did I do that? I thought that was great, really cool idea. I'm very, very interested in that aspect of the game. So that is everything in the sort of, should I call this a core box? This is Farsight. And as I mentioned, there is the war chest to come, and this has got all the miniatures on. I'll do that in a separate video. It'll be right after this one, so you guys can check out what the miniatures look like, which is pretty exciting for myself. I do not own any mech miniatures, so I'm ready to see what's in here. Anyway, guys, that is everything you get in Farsight. If you've played it, let me know in the comments below. Let me know what you think of the game and whether it does bridge the gap nicely between a board game and, you know, a war game. Thank you all ever so much for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Hey everyone, bang my arm. No, let's just start this again, because I don't know what I'm talking about. This is a new game. It's not that new, it's a game. It's just a game.